Welcome to Live from Sparkwood in 21. This series chronicles the 1990s cult classic Twin Peaks, created by David Lynch and Mark Frost. Joining me on this journey are superfans Last Call with Troy Pacelli, Netter's Network, an aged boomer. Ronette Pulaski has awakened, and so has the mysterious force in the woods. And the owls are not what they seem. So slide into a booth at the Double R Diner and order a damn fine cup of coffee and a heavenly slice of cherry pie as we watch and discuss episode 2 of season 2, Coma. Already in the chat, JP RPH1, Dee Myers Jr., Big Out presents Lester Stan Jose the Skeptic Tank. Have a safe trip home, sir. Connie Cleary. All right. Well, let us begin. All right. Lady and gentlemen, how are you this evening?
Very well. Thank you.
Right on.
Can you order chicken tendies at the Double R Diner?
I don't see why not.
And ketchup?
Sure.
Yes. As a matter of fact, I know you can. I didn't order it myself when I was there, but yes, you can.
They can't be any better than chicken tendies any other place, right? Or are they the best in the world?
They're probably made from real chicken, so I think that alone makes them pretty good.
Right, I keep forgetting that's why KFC had to change the name from Kentucky Fried Chicken to KFC, because they weren't using real chickens.
That's not true.
I heard that. They're like these creatures that grow in a
I've
lab
heard a lot
now.
of things on the internet. Oh my gosh. It's getting to the point where I see people sharing stuff and it's like, are you really this stupid? And I hope some of these people putting out TikToks, I hope it's staged. I hope they're acting because they want it to be shared. But there's one going around, a girl talking about male biology and her misunderstandings of things that are just so ridiculous that I weep for the future I weep for the current generations.
But the current generation can still enjoy Twin Peaks.
Absolutely.
Indeed.
If they are wise and smart enough, they can, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why.
And someone who I know has been enjoying the show is Lady V Elements. Good evening. My stalker is here. All right. First off, before we go on, I want to thank each and every one of you for watching the show. Those of you who are with us in the chat, those lurking in the background, those watching on my Twitter feed, and everyone who watches the replay. Last week's episode was our most watched.
Nice.
And I'm very happy. I knew this was going to be a very niche show, but it seems to have caught on. And everybody's been coming back week after week, and they've been letting their friends know. So please hit the like, share out the stream, say hello in the comments and all that good stuff, because it helps with the algorithm.
Yep.
Some news on the personal YouTube front for me. I am currently sitting at 310 subs.
Yes, you are.
So
Congratulations.
this is the road to 500.
At this point, that means that at least 300 is going to stick. You know, now it's you continue on from here. Yeah. Good.
Pretty soon
And
it's
you're
gonna
welcome,
overtake
Dee.
me.
Thank you.
Well, we'll see. We'll see about that.
We'll see.
But,
I'm only at 322.
delete this panel. Thanks for doing the stream. Yeah, absolutely. And I guess this is probably as good a place as any to mention that the Cosme link is at the top. Those of you
Indeed.
that are watching live can therefore watch the episode with us off platform. Those of you joining us in the future, you're gonna have to supply your own, but I hope you find our commentary insightful, helpful, as you try to get into this Twin Peaks thing that can be a little bit of a little bit meaty, a little bit chewy. You gotta really think your way through it.
And we have quite a bit in store for you in this episode. As you remember, at the end of last week's show, Ronette Pulaski awakened from her coma, and she's going to have something to say. And as I said in the intro, the mysterious force in the woods is also going to make its presence known this week, and we're going to see the beginning of kind of a rather odd pairing of characters who are going to find that they have some things in common that they didn't realize they had before, and we're going to be following that through the upcoming weeks. And hello to Geek Flag with Nate Knows. Good to see you, Nate. My friends, I switched with my coworker at work to take the morning shift so I could be here now. Wow, thank you. Thank you very much for finding the time. Lady V says, I think I've only seen one episode so far, so I'm a bit lost on it. What? Oh, okay, well, that's fine too. The show, for anybody who missed any episodes, the show is currently airing on Paramount Plus, I believe.
Plus, probably,
Yes.
yes. I think so, yeah.
So if you have missed any episodes, it is available. You can also access that through YouTube as well, where you can buy the individual episodes if you so wish.
I would recommend
Alright.
if you're going to bother buying it, get the physical media.
Get the physical media, get the box set.
You could also go down to your local public library and see if they have it on DVD.
And
Yes,
if they don't, they
that's-
could probably get it in for
Yeah, you can always request, see if they'll order it for you, yes.
So, we what are we on? We are on episode 2 of season 2. So last week was a meaty one. The one thing you probably want to take away from last week is the predictions from the Giant, as Dale was bleeding from his bullet wound, which was bad, but not as severe as one might have thought. First prediction was about the man in the smiling bag, who was, of course, Jacques Renault. And Cooper has already seen within the span of that episode the smiling bag, because the body bag they took him away in was then hung up, on a wall, and it was drooping like a smile. So he's seen that already. The Giant has also predicted that the third man has been seen by 3, but not his body. Okay. Take that with you through the rest of the season. We'll talk about that more. It's kind of a spoiler, but not really. The third man he refers to is Bob.
He also said that you forgot something.
And you forgot something. That will pay off, I believe, in tonight's episode. That's right. Predictions or cryptic warnings? I'm going to have to say yes.
Yes.
Maybe blue.
And it's interesting because there is a timey-wimey element to the inhabitants of the lodges. which is who we're talking about when we talk about the dancing man from another place, the giant, Bob, Mike, as we'll see later on, and a couple of other characters that are introduced in tonight's episode, or at least aspects of them. That's something else to keep in mind. Denizens of the lodges have real-world analogs as well. So, Philip Gerard and Mike. We don't know who Bob's representative in the real world is just yet. That's the mystery, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we'll see more as we go.
We will. All
okay,
right.
Wait a minute. I'm missing part of the in joke, but it bothers me that it looks like Lady V Elements is upset. In what way has she not been a good stalker?
Now, I think she's referring to the fact that she hasn't seen all of the episodes up to now.
Oh, okay. Well, stick with
Lady V. You can come stalk me, honey.
Yeah,
I'll
you can
take
stalk all of us. That we'd appreciate that.
I'd love to have you
But as
stalk
far
me.
as Twin Peaks goes, don't worry too much about it. Watch with us. We'll do the updates and we'll fill you in, which is actually, let's be honest with you, better than when we were watching it on network television. That's why up in Canada, when they did the the reruns of it, they had the log lady doing intros to try and help you out, but she was pretty cryptic too. It didn't always really help. It gave a lot of us that had already seen it through a couple times a little bit of extra insight.
Well, what would she say? Like a toad screams at midnight on the 25th or something? And you're
Well,
trying to figure out what she's
maybe not quite. I think I could find very quickly log lady intros.
I think on the DVD set they had those as an option, right?
They do. I have them on the DVD, but actually they're on YouTube as well.
Okay.
But let me see. Do they have? Here they are. Episode. What is this considered? Episode 10.
Well, it's episode 9 after the pilot. So if you consider the pilot episode 1, then it would be 10. But,
okay, this is. I think then it's episode 9.
Mm-hmm.
As above, so below. The human being finds himself or herself in the middle. There is as much space outside the human proportionately as inside. Stars, moons, and planets remind us of protons, neutrons, and electrons. Is there a bigger being walking with all the stars within? Does our thinking affect what goes on outside of us or what goes on inside of us? I think it does. Where does creamed corn figure into the workings of the universe? What really is creamed corn? Is it a symbol for something else? Actually, yeah, that has to be the one for this episode. So there you go. That's the kind of thing you would get from the Log Lady's intro. So if that helps you, good.
That almost reminds me of the short-lived Bill and Ted TV show where something happened to do with the police meeting and they were serving chicken Kiev at the police meeting dinner and something got messed up there and then the future was this horrible dystopia and when Bill and Ted are in prison all they're served is chicken Kiev. And it was like tying back. So that made me think of like what's chicken Kiev's tie to the rest of the universe, right?
That's a good question.
Like cream corn.
I have to believe, and we'll talk more about cream corn later on. I don't want to get into it right now, since it hasn't even come up in the episode yet. Okay. But I have my theories, and if you remind me when we start talking about cream corn, I'll tell you how I would tie Chicken Kiev into the grand scheme of the universe.
Okay.
Lady of the Elements is having trouble telling Boomer and Troy's voices apart. I guess you guys sound too much alike.
This is weird.
We've been spending a lot of time together. That's why, I mean, every now and again I'll say something and I'll be like, man, I sound like Boomer.
Uh-oh. We're going to start dressing the same next.
I want to acknowledge Lady Mist.
Hey, Lady Miss. Oh, dropping the flowers. Thank you so
Hello.
much. Maybe we should start listing her in the credits as the flower girl.
Maybe. All righty.
No worries at all. It's like,
Yeah.
they can sound very similar, so yeah, I get that.
It's mostly me.
I make it a little bit easier on Fridays when I'm on camera. You can see my lips moving.
What are you people doing in my room?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, shall we get started?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, those of you who are not already there, follow us on over to Cosme. I see there are 9 of you already there in the chat, including Connie Cleary, JPRPH1, Lady V, and some others who are at the moment remaining anonymous. All right.
Which is fine. Okay. I'm ready when you are.
All right. In 3, 2, 1, go.
Flappy.
Question: If
Yes.
there's a credit for best boy, is there a credit for best bird?
Flappy is absolutely best bird all time.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Especially now that Waldo's dead.
Yeah. R.I.P. Waldo.
Yeah.
He didn't last long. He was in the book though.
Yep.
He is. Yeah.
Absolutely true.
It's on deleted scenes. I finished the book. Diary of Laura Palmer.
Yeah.
Audio and physical copies available.
Yeah, I'm still trying to. Well, maybe we should mention. I should mention on stream. Still trying to figure out what happened between Laura Palmer and Blackie. But anyway,
I know.
Do the math.
Yeah. She has a page and a half of what do you call them? Initials.
okay.
Take a look at that again.
All right. Ray Wise.
Yeah. And Joan Chen. Okay. I tell you what, those falls are beautiful. If you can ever get up to Snoqualmie, that alone is worth the trip. From right where the camera would have to be right now, you can still feel the water misting up on your face from those. Those
That's
falls.
the what do you call it, overcrop?
Yeah.
So you can actually stand out a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Outcropping, that's what it's called. Outcropping.
It's a good looking breakfast.
Are you kidding me? It's a nice breakfast.
Yep.
And if they have to shoot that scene over and over and over, he's probably really stuffed going, I can't eat anymore.
I was just watching a video about eating scenes and how they film them. You'd be surprised.
When I was at Bob Evans, I did the double meat breakfast.
Nice.
A puppet? No. Bonnie, why is there a puppet? Yeah.
Yes.
Wrong show. Sorry. Mhm.
Although I don't really know why Albert would be getting involved in the arson case, but I suppose they could see
Forensic.
it as possibly being related. Yeah.
Oh, there's a barbershop quartet behind him.
Yeah, they're on a smoke break. See. There we go. There's a new name for y'all.
Understatement.
So another mystery.
If you listen real close, you could hear even though they're on a smoke break, they're humming in harmony.
Yes, I could hear that because you could just hear that tune.
And it also tells you about the time this was shot, where people could, be smoking indoors. Still, the wood is pretty. It really is. Honestly, if you go to the Kiana Lodge in Washington State, it still looks just like that.
It's a pretty walkway.
And if you go to the falls, you can actually walk down to the very bottom of the falls.
Yep.
I've been down there. Well, so is Troy, but it's like I went down there once by myself, and I just kind of hung out there taking pictures. You can feel the spray against your face. There's certain parts where you can get off the walkway, the wooden walkway they have, and actually go down to the actual river, standing on the rocks and touch the water. It's so beautiful.
Welcome FKHC 2005. Mrs. Tremont.
Or is it Chalfont?
There you go. Yeah, we'll be reintroduced to this character in a different aspect when we get to Fire Walk with Me. Yep.
That's true.
It is.
Crusted, no creamed corn.
Right.
Wait, what?
That is pretty freaky.
Yeah.
David Lynch is holding it.
David Lynch Jr.
Yeah. What's wrong with cream corn? On this show, it's not a good sign.
Yeah. So I'll give you a little behind the scenes on this. David Lynch does not like cream corn. And I mean, he just doesn't. So he kind of uses it symbolically, and we'll talk more about that symbolism as we continue. But he does. He looks exactly like a very, very young David Lynch with the hair and the whole bit.
Is it maybe a grandchild?
Yeah, he is related to David, isn't he?
It's a son.
Oh, I thought so. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I
Is
didn't
that
know he had
Fry?
a son. I knew he had Jen.
Yeah. Did you catch that?
Nope.
It was Latin. I am a lonely soul.
Oh.
What's she got? Fried chicken there?
Piece of fried chicken. I believe that was breast meat. Some white rice and
The Banshee
arguably
corn.
some cream corn. Yeah.
Like some mashed potatoes, maybe.
Well, the son's a snappy dresser.
Yeah, he is. You got to give him credit for that. He's also a good dancer.
Wait for it.
He even has the same inflections and intonations as his father. It's weird. It is like David Lynch's mini-me.
It's like the voice of doom, you know.
Kinda.
You kind of get. I always kind of got the idea that those two characters were maybe not entirely human.
Yeah.
They're part of what's ever in the woods.
I think they are more closely related to that spirit world than, you know, even people like Margaret and Laura, you know, that are kind of sensitive and aware of it, but they're like half living in it, you know.
Maybe. Oh, this bit is actually funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To some degree, you're kind of right, Lady V.
Mhm.
What?
I do have a question when it comes to them, but it could be a spoiler, so I'll wait until after the show.
Okay.
My question is, why are those chairs so high?
I don't know.
It's like Cooper's is really, really short and Sheriff's is really, really high.
And I was mistaken. It was French, not Latin.
Oh.
Well, I couldn't hear him, otherwise I would have told you it was.
Yeah, he was speaking very low. J'ai une amie solitaire.
Dang, I want to know how much pomade Cooper's got in
I
his
know.
hair.
My money's on Brill Cream.
And probably hairspray, because that ain't moving.
Right.
She can't focus.
Was that supposed to be Leo Johnson? That wasn't
Yeah.
a very good drawing.
No.
I'm guessing that she normally wears glasses, and that's why she has to bring it close.
Maybe.
Holy smokes, it's the set decorator, run!
Yeah, exactly. But then again, she has been in a coma for how many days now?
8 at least.
Yeah, so her eyes are probably not focusing well.
Oh, I remember this scene.
A smoked cheese pig.
Both of them.
Mm-hmm.
You think? Maybe. I'm waiting for Psycho Brother to cut himself with that knife. He
Yeah.
keeps fondling it.
See, I agree with him. You should burn them both because regardless of what it says in those ledgers, they would have burned in the fire, right?
Where do you get a smoked cheese pig?
I would think Wisconsin. I don't know how they have one in Washington.
And why they would want one shaped like a pig.
Pork flavored? Oh, look, marshmallows. Oh, marshmallows. I'm going to burn the marshmallows.
Yeah.
Those are nice, huh?
Oh gosh.
For
We were at
Pete's sake,
Ollie's
Andy.
and Troy picked up a box of chocolate, and it's like
Oh.
chocolate with marshmallows.
Oh, wow.
They apparently had melted at some point
Yeah.
and then
Oh, no.
solidified. So I'm having to break this thing up into pieces.
It's like a big solid brick, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's like chocolate, marshmallows, and peanuts. I managed to get it into pieces, but it was like, oh my goodness.
Andy,
Should I go over there?
no, stay away.
No.
Oh my.
That's a lot of tape.
Yes.
Well, it's Andy.
Two Jedi walk into a diner.
Yeah, right.
I saw that scene last summer. She stuck it on the wall, right?
Yep. Exactly.
Oh, she kind of spit it at the wall, didn't she?
She spit it out onto the counter and then she stuck it on the wall.
Like, don't you put no cream in my coffee.
Yeah.
That's a no.
I do like this interaction between the two of them.
Because he's not like, you're just some wackadoo.
Yeah.
He's actually listening to her.
He is a Scully after all.
Yes. He plays military types. He must have gotten cast in a lot of those roles. I think he was the mayor.
Sorry, go ahead.
I think it was the mayor in some made-for-TV disaster movie too once. Yeah.
And what is it she's chewing on again?
Pitch gum.
Is that another
Meanwhile-
wood tick? Is that another wood tick?
No, ticks don't fly. It's probably
I know.
just a fly. Or a bee. It could be a bee.
Well, it's like twice in like the space of a week. In the middle of winter, I found a wasp, one in my on my bedroom window, and one in my office window. It's the middle of winter. These things should not be existing.
Okay.
She's got two-
Nate says he was the mayor in Under the Dome.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Oh, what did he do now?
Oh.
God.
Yeah.
Why indeed?
Now it's his turn to be mad.
I do like that. If you weren't listening, you missed it. Line. I like whales. Completely misunderstood what the sperm bank was for.
I know. You know, he's. I feel like the deer is staring at me.
It is.
It
Buck
absolutely
stopped
is.
The
here.
buck stopped here. That's funny.
Yep.
It's like that shirt is way too big on the sheriff.
And he just.
Perhaps the sheriff has lost weight during all this insanity
Could
going
be.
on in this town.
But I mean,
Yeah.
even the sleeves are too long.
What if he's not the sheriff?
Yeah.
Howie Stallone. Hey, come back here.
Yeah. I feel like there's a lot of story there that we've never gotten.
Yeah.
See, again, another element of why I think a prequel might not be such a bad thing.
You shouldn't have told him that.
Well, not the light that's blinking on the left, the one that's blinking between the two.
Go back to your hotel room, find the note.
Yeah.
Of course, if the maid service was any good, they would have found the note on the floor and put it on his bedside table or on the bed.
It's possible they had to keep the room. I don't know.
That's true. If she didn't sign the insurance policy, then there is no investigation on an insurance claim.
So the fraud can't be found.
Well, there's other reasons that it might be investigated. I'm just saying. See, there is a way to spin that. It kind of does, actually, Lady B.
Stay tuned, Jerry.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I can already see you're thinking along the same lines I am.
Hmm.
She's got a good point there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Man, is he hairy?
Yes. Well,
Yeah.
Nate,
It's
she has
complicated.
to care.
Yeah.
Yeah, she has to care. If for no other reason, he is her source of income. With
Mhm.
him in the hospital racking up medical bills, there's a lot for her to be concerned about. Okay, goodbye.
Well, she's 19 and he's 110. It would never work.
Right.
Don't tick off the gatekeeper.
Yeah.
Oh,
Meanwhile,
yeah. This is uncomfortable and bizarre.
It's a big bunch of ice there.
Yeah.
So apparently he likes to vacuum on while having his toes painted and his hands tied.
And the girl doing the vacuuming's got to be dressed like a cowboy.
Is that the HR guy?
yeah. Yeah.
Well, she's got a point there.
And I would tell him, and now you're going to get me out of here.
That's true. She is still trapped there.
Meanwhile, movie
Yes.
J.
Mhm. rock and roll.
Well, kind of blues. I see why he's thinking the way he does, but this is the kind of thinking you do when you don't really understand the gravity of the situation and how much things cost.
He is a teenager,
Right.
though.
Yes.
So let's not
True.
forget this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He's biting that female.
He sure will be. I promise.
Mental note. Watch Sleepwalkers, Demon
Yeah.
Lover, and the first 10 minutes of Priest. And that, okay, I'm back. Right.
I said the cleaning staff there must not be very good because they should have found that envelope and put it on his bedside table or his
Right.
bed.
Oh.
Oh, see, he's still moving stiffly because
Yeah.
bullet wound.
Well, he was shot.
Well, I do like when they have that attention to detail.
Continuity. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
I do like the lighting in this scene. It gives it a certain edge of.
They both matched to woodwork.
Yeah, exactly. That's one of the things the Giants said, and Margaret Lanterman. Cooper.
Cooper. Just Cooper, 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 Cooper.
Okay. This scene gets a lot of grief. It's a little bit divisive in the Twin Peaks fandom. I happen to very much love this too.
Yeah.
And you can't gloss over this either. There's going to be a lot going on here if you pay attention.
Mm-hmm. In more ways than one.
Right. Too bad they didn't have YouTube back then.
And if they're recording, hopefully no one's going to walk in and ruin the recording.
True.
Although I don't see any recording equipment.
I think they're just practicing right now.
She really likes him.
Of course. Yeah, the look on their faces exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really need to explain anything,
Yeah.
do I?
I just want to kiss you.
Well, yeah. Yeah, see, unfortunately, this isn't a romantic kiss. This is a marking my territory kind of kiss.
Carol Smith.
He's like, who's Harold Smith? Before going to get the car, it said Meals on Wheels. And then...
Well, but
But
she's
who are
taking
any of
it-
you really? No.
She's taking it where he can hear her, so it's not like... Well, there's something wrong with chat for me, so I can't type. But I agree with you, Lady Mist. It's still sweet. Some great elements of silly puppy love and some adult angst as well. And so now she has seen Bob as well. So who are the three that have seen Bob and not the body? It would be Maddie, Sarah, and Ronette.
Oh, well, Laura.
Well, Laura, but yeah, she's gone now. Hello. Hello.
Why is he sleeping with his arm over his face like that?
The light.
I can.
Yeah, because he's used to that light shining on him. Okay, that was a little on the nose.
Bowie taught us that owls are magic. Hold that thought, Lady V.
Yes! Both the Bowie element and the owls being magic part. Hold on to that, yes. Well, where is he?
Fluffing at her.
Oh, boy.
Did she tell Cooper where she was?
She did not, although she gave him a big clue. Yeah.
I saw you in a tuxedo.
Here's the picture. She hated that picture.
Lady V, that's what I sound like at 2 a.m. when I call my boyfriend. Where are you at? It's your fault. I'll tell you, that's one of the things I love about this is every single episode had a way of, just ending at just the right time for you to go, no. I don't want it to be over yet. But there you go. So we got someone out of a coma. We got someone else in a coma.
Leo.
Yup.
Poor Leo.
No.
Right.
No. I did like the comment about he's kind of already in prison, and we're all like, yep, and he deserves it.
Look, he had, I heard his father beat him when he was little. That's.
Yeah, that's always the excuse. Although, that whole thing about childhood abuse, that's going to be coming up even more.
Right.
And not just, what we were talking about with Laura in the diary.
So we saw Bob.
Yep. He's definitely front and center. And the owls are not what they seem, and they have associated Bob with the owls. So, and you kind of got that from some of the diary entries too, from Laura. So, all of this stuff about Bob seeing her, knowing what she was doing even when she was out in the woods, and her own dream about hooting like an owl and so forth. So, yeah. But, I mean, Lady V, it wouldn't be a bad idea. And it's not hard to do because the first season was only 7 episodes. So you could literally do that in a week. But yeah, it might be good to do that. You know, these commentaries are up on Deleted Scenes channel, so you can certainly listen along with them, or you could watch the episode and then listen and hear what we had to say about it. But I'm glad you are enjoying it. This was exactly what I had hoped for. Someone like, you know, you're describing, where you want to get caught up on the episodes and you're enjoying it enough that you're interested to even go back and watch it. Honestly, I think we've all said this on here at one time or another. It's, even if you have watched the show all the way through, there's a lot of rewatchability to this. I swear to you, even in these, what is this, 30 years later, we're watching this. I'm watching it again after I don't know how many times I've seen this, and I'm still picking up new stuff.
Thank you. All right. Yeah. I mean, and even going back and watching this now myself, I'm picking up on things. And the thing, Lady V, that you also have to remember is that I am still yet to see season 3.
Yep.
So
no spoilers.
Yeah.
Right. No spoilers. And I don't know where this road is going to go. I have theories, and even my theories don't explain everything. And maybe everything will never be explained. You know, there are some things that we brought up tonight that, you know, there could be a prequel series, and you would still have enough material for that show to be viable on its own without referencing anything that happens in this.
Yeah.
Because that's how deep of a history of the town that they go into.
They have done so much groundwork. I mean, by the same token, we don't need them to do a prequel, because you can almost in your own mind fill in those details from just little lines like that, you know, where Sheriff Truman says, I grew up with him, he used to be a bookhouse boy, he's one of the best of us. You know, it's like, wow, you know.
Yeah. How did Hank go so wrong?
Right. And the whole story with Nadine and Big Ed and all of that. And there's a lot there.
You know what's funny? I was doing a Google search on David Lynch, right? And under Entertainment Weekly, it says David Lynch's main request for the Fabelmans: a bag of Cheetos. He needed a bag of Cheetos in his dressing room.
I can understand that.
And then underneath that Washington Post article, global economy headed for worst half decade in 30 years, World Bank warns. Why is that underneath the David Lynch article?
To answer Lady V's question, and going, well, before I do that, going back to the Fabelmans, yes, David Lynch is in the Fabelmans, and he plays John Ford, and it's this this alleged meeting that a young Steven Spielberg had with John Ford, and John Ford imparts some advice to him. And after which he then, and again I quote, says, "Get the fuck out of my office." You know? And it's in the film. I don't know. I haven't seen it yet, but that scene is, I think, available on YouTube here somewhere, I'm sure. How many seasons does the show go? It goes 3. There were the 2 initial seasons on ABC that were in 1990 and 91. There was the Fire Walk With Me feature film, which if I remember correctly was 1992. Somewhere in that area. Right. And then you had season 3, which is referred to as Twin Peaks: The Return, that ran on Showtime. That was 25 years later. Ish. 25, 27 years later. So that's how long of a wait that fans had between season 2 and 3.
And I gotta tell you, they had to have that planned. I mean, maybe not 25 years earlier when they were doing the show, but because they had done what they had done in the show, they said, well, if we're ever going to come back to this, it's going to be in 25 years.
Right. Because, and this was something that was always a theory of mine. Now, David Lynch has always said that the mystery behind the murder of Laura Palmer was never really going to be solved. It was just supposed to be the MacGuffin, so to speak, that would lead to uncovering all of these other secrets in the town. You know, but that was before the network execs showed up and said, well, no, you've got to solve it because, you know, too many people are invested now. And I'm kind of partially to blame for that as a fan, because I was there trying to solve the mystery along with them. Only the difference with me, and I'm sure not just with me, I'm going by my own viewpoint of the show at the time. They had the line in Cooper's dream, it was 25 years later.
Mm-hmm.
And I always thought, okay, he's going to solve it, but it's going to be 25 years down the line before he does. And that he was going to have to go through this whole other odyssey before he solved it. And I always envisioned the final episode of the series that it would be 25 years later and he would have some kind of confrontation. And there was a specific place where I thought that confrontation was going to happen. And this is a place that we haven't seen yet in the show. And when we get to it, I'll bring it up again.
And you haven't seen season 3 yet.
And I haven't seen season 3. Right.
I know, right? It's like, oh, you are... But
I'm close to something, aren't I?
Yeah, you are. And
I am.
The other thing, too, is I realize, after all these rewatches,
mm-hmm.
I was in my late teens, early 20s when Twin Peaks aired, and I was just flippin' naive. There was a lot that I missed, and now, I mean, unfortunately, it's kind of like after you've seen like The Sixth Sense, you look back and you see the red doorknob and and you're like, oh, I totally missed that, right? But now you can't unknow what you know, so you can't say, well, if I hadn't seen this until I was in my 40s, say, might it have been easier for me to catch the things I missed, if I was a little less naive, or I hate to say it, if I was a little more cynical, would I have been
cynical?
Yeah. Because this is a show that goes into areas that you don't want to think about.
Yeah.
You don't want to go there.
You certainly never would have thought that look, we just got through reading Laura Palmer's Secret Diary. Well,
Mm-hmm.
Those of us on the panel have read it. We just kind of talked about it over 2 episodes. And we got into some really mature subject matter there. That's why it all went into the book, because they couldn't put it on network television.
Right.
The best they could do is imply it. And then they get a little bit more into it with Fire Walk with Me.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not as much as the book, but so yeah, you do catch more when you watch it with a mature mind.
Right,
so,
because at the time the show originally aired, the episodes that we're watching now, I was the same age that the kids are supposed to be. and Laura and Donna and James. And so I felt like I related to them in a way.
Yeah.
Even though, Cooper was my guy and I dressed like him. Even that's how into the show I was. I started dressing like Cooper. Um, that, and I was in drama club at the time too. So that was the whole of I want to be an actor, father, and then yeah,
But
get a
speaking
job, real one,
speaking
yeah.
again though to that, picking up more with maturity, I it does remind me that the actors don't know, as they're going through. I mean, when there's that trick ending or whatever, and there's this mystery and whatnot, unless you need to know, you don't know. So everybody that was involved in the show said, yeah, we didn't know who killed Laura Palmer until it was absolutely necessary for us to know. And Charlotte Stewart and Grace Zabriskie both said that they were a little shocked. They were a little shocked and bothered by it.
And when we get to the episode of the reveal,
which is coming up real soon.
It is actually, yes. When we get to the episode of the reveal, we'll talk about what, I'll put it this way: the individual who plays the culprit. We'll go a little bit more into their thoughts on their ending up being who they end up being.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Does cream corn showing up again on this show? Does it show up again?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Lady V is what I didn't think I was alive yet when this aired. What year? 1990 was season 1.
Oh, you youngins!
So yeah.
Seriously, Troy and I are old enough to be parents to most of y'all.
I know, it's heartbreaking.
She was 3.
Oh, wow.
It was the year before Netta and I got married.
So yeah, I was, if I'm getting my math correct, I was a junior in high school when this first aired. Yeah.
And I had just graduated. I had just graduated high school, in 89, which, Laura and her friends would have been class of 89, so there you go. Yeah, that's the thing. Young Troy that saw this when it first aired, the first time through. I was the same age that Laura and Bobby and Donna and James were supposed to be. In fact, I wanted to be James. I mean, I wore my hair that way. I idolized James Dean,
All right, so let's go around the horn on that. I wanted to be Cooper. Troy wanted to be James. And Netter, Boomer, who did you want to be?
Me? I don't know. Hawk was kind of cool. I liked him.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, Deputy Hawk.
I know. I like Sheriff Truman.
Yes, you did, but
that's
because you saw his butt.
Actually, though, Lucy is really sweet. Troy and I had mentioned before we've met the cast, and she is the sweetest little thing. She's like my height, so it's even better because I'm 5'4" and she's a shorty like me.
Yeah, Kimmy Roberts was literally, of all of the people we met, she was literally at every single get together that we were at.
That's nice.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, she's an absolute darling.
More Andy intrigue this episode.
Mhm.
Yeah, like I'm sterile, so I want to know
Yeah.
why you're pregnant and,
And how you're pregnant. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And we are going to find that out.
And I did like that look on her face. It was like, you know, she was shocked.
The
you know?
oops busted.
Exactly. Exactly.
Mm-hmm. We are going to find out that Lucy has somebody on the side. You know, and when we see who that is, you're going to get a bit of a chuckle out of that, because it's going to be somebody that you can't imagine seeing with her.
And friends with benefits?
Another one of those character actors that you've seen in a bunch of things and you go,
mm-hmm.
No way.
Yeah. He's going to be somebody who actually showed up later on in something that David Lynch directed.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Thing is, I can't stand the guy.
Yeah. Well, you're kind of not supposed to.
You're not supposed to.
Some of these characters you'll notice they do come off as a little two-dimensional, and that's a little bit intentional. They're meant to be more of a trope or an archetype of a character than they are fleshed out. But then some of these characters are very well fleshed out. And I've got my theory about the whys of that too.
Mm-hmm. And there's going to be another character who's going to be coming up here, if not the next episode, maybe even the one after. There's going to be another character actor who's going to show up that I'm surprised wasn't in it from Minute One.
Yep.
And when we get to him. And again,
there was
a
lot,
great.
Oh, go ahead.
Mm-hmm. No, go ahead.
There was a lot of Lady Z wanted to be Xena. Can't say I blame you. There was a lot of things that happened in season 2 that at the time bothered me, but then I was also very, as I am now, with this community, geeky geezers, all that. I'm very much involved in the behind the scenes and the trivia and the details and the news, and beyond just the watching and enjoying the story. And I was at the time kind of sharing a lot of David Lynch's frustration with the networks and seeing a lot of networks' influence on the show. So there was a lot of things that happened I didn't like at the time that I have since, if not just made my peace with, I've come to appreciate. I've said the same thing about the prequel trilogy of Star Wars too. A lot of things I didn't like about it at the time, I've made my peace with them and don't mind them so much anymore. So, but go ahead.
Right, because there's a point in time in season 2 where David Lynch went off to make Wild at Heart.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where things in the middle of season 2
go all cattywampus.
Yeah, it became, let's just throw in something quirky for the sake of throwing in something quirky, and there was the point, and David Lynch never really did that.
Right.
When he was there to supervise, to write and or direct, everything that happens is there for a reason. And that's why I'm really happy that in season 3 that both he and Mark Frost had control of the ship. And I'm really looking forward to season 3. Because there's a point in season 2, and it still wasn't a bad show. It was just a different show.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a point where things start to come back, and it feels like again a lot of and I don't turn anybody off this season 2 because there's some interesting twists and turns ahead. Trust me on that. And we're going to talk about those when we get to them. And when okay, no, I don't want to give anything away, but it's one of those. There's a line that Bobby has in the pilot where it's like, just when you least expect it.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say any more than that, because I don't want to give anything away. But there's more. There's much more, and then even in the episodes that are not as, maybe, I don't want to say not as good, because I don't want to turn anybody off to them, because there's interesting stuff. Stay tuned.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It takes a detour, but it's an interesting detour.
It's one of those things where you're glad you got lost.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's a point.
Route.
Yeah, and there's a point in that scenic route, and even there was a scene in tonight's episode that wait, why is that there? This is where I think where David Lynch saying Mulholland Drive is in the same universe as Twin Peaks starts to make sense to me, looking back on it.
I don't know. What's Lynch up to these days?
Apparently acting.
Well, yeah, he's into Fabelmans. He plays John Ford. And I keep hearing that he's working on another film.
Directing?
Directing.
Writing,
yeah,
directing?
writing, directing, yeah.
Interesting.
What it is or what it's going to be about, I don't know. He hasn't directed a feature since Inland Empire, to my knowledge, unless I'm forgetting something. And I still need to see Inland Empire, because I'm kind of curious if that fits in to Twin Peaks or Mulholland Drive at all.
I feel that it does. And if you just, oh, go ahead.
No, I was just about to say, I've only seen bits and pieces of. I've seen maybe 10 minutes out of it. It's a 3-hour film, so I don't know if it connects at all.
I do feel that it does, and if you decide you want to, we could do that as part of this ongoing series after we get through the mainline Twin Peaks stuff.
Right.
We do Mulholland Drive. We can
Definitely
start looking at that. Yeah.
For adult audiences only.
Yeah.
I've seen
what was that?
Mulholland Drive. Mulholland Drive for adult audiences only.
Yes. Yeah. It earns the R rating. Fire Walk with Me certainly does.
Yeah.
Because with the movie you can do more. I don't know how explicit season 3 gets, because that it was a cable series, so they could do more. Troy, any?
I'm not commenting.
You're not commenting.
Best.
Okay.
I'm doing my best. I know I've already spoiled way too much for you. I'm not going to comment.
Well, I'm guessing things based on what little bit I do know about season 3, and then, like I said, my own theories.
Let me say this about your guesses. we have implied that a lot of your guesses were closer in the ballpark. Thing is, even if your guesses are spot on, given the nature of what the subject matter here, we'd still have to say, yeah, you're definitely in the ballpark. Whether you're spot on or not is kind of a matter of opinion, right?
Yeah.
Matter of interpretation. Right. Yeah, hearing and
Lady
it and
Miss
seeing
Chuck
it are
Norris.
different. Yeah, true.
Hearing it and seeing it are different. Yeah.
But yeah, so that's. Oh, I'm enjoying this. I really am. I'm so glad that we decided to do this and you kicked it off. And yeah, this is awesome. And I'm glad that so many people have come and watched with us and are enjoying it. That we've got people who've never seen it before, Lady V, you know, and anyone else who hasn't. I'd love to hear too if anyone here in the chat has seen it previously and are going through it again with us and maybe getting something new out of it. And then Netta just put her hand up.
Funny.
And hello, Shrek PMC.
Yep. But yeah.
Well, I'm glad you are. All right. Well, thank you all once again for being here. We're going to go. We're going to go around the horn, and
Audrey.
Don't tempt me, sir.
I know.
All right. Netter, what do you have coming up?
Thursday on Thursday Things, my special guest will be Continuum Chronicle, but we won't be talking about his channel. Stay tuned to find out what we will be talking about. And then, let's see, my next week for doing
retro cinema
films, retro cinema. Hold on, because my thing went. I had to restart my computer, so my spreadsheet closed. So
your thing is dragging.
Yeah. So let's see. We just watched Cube, so that was interesting. So if you want to follow the commentary on that one, make sure you go back for that. But then January 20th, we'll be watching a movie called Dagon. And apparently it's a horror film, because I'd never heard of it, but Troy knows.
Oh,
yeah, it's based on the H.P. Lovecraft
Stuart
story.
Gordon, I think.
Stuart Gordon, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if there's any symbolism, because that's also my sister's birthday.
Oh, well, when we start talking about the Innsmouth look, we'll talk more about your sister.
The older sister.
Oh, your older sister. Oh, sorry. Never mind then.
Yeah, the sister that's right above me, she kind of looks like the Crypt Keeper. Seriously.
Yeah, we'll get into that, but that is a week from Saturday, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't recall what Al's movie is for next week.
The Rocketeer.
Oh.
So join Netter and myself on Saturday for Big Al's Films with Friends for The Rocketeer.
I'm actually going through, and I picked out all of my movies for the year.
Yeah, I'm helping her get her streams ready for the whole year. So
it's like
she'll have a whole schedule
24
up for you
movies,
guys.
something like that.
Yeah.
And he's putting all of my thumbnails together for them. So you're about to see a explosion of StreamYard, not StreamYard,
pending live streams.
Yeah, pending live streams. Thank you.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And I am still looking for guests for Thursday Things. So if anyone is interested, my only requirements is that you have a YouTube channel with your own content that you're trying to grow. You can DM me on Twitter, or if you go to the last Thursday Things I did, in the comments below, in that video, you will see my email address. You can email me and put Thursday Things in the subject line, and let me know when you would like to be on. January is totally filled up, but I'm looking for guests for February and beyond. So let me know.
Yep.
And that's it for me. Well, I'll also be on
All
last
right.
call, but that's a given.
Right. All right, Troy.
Yep. So Netter just mentioned it. Last call this Friday, where obviously, well, actually, everybody who's on the panel here tonight will be joining me over there on Friday. We will be kind of following up on the topic from deleted scenes last unscripted from last Sunday. The idea of walking away, but I'm going to put a positive spin on it. Why walking away from some of these franchises that are being culturally vandalized is not a bad thing. It's a healthy thing. It's a good thing, and I'll explain why. But we're gonna look at several different of our favorite franchises, kind of look at what's happened to them and where the stepping off point needs to be. And we're going to drink. That should go without saying. So that's Friday.
Drink her down.
Exactly. That's Friday, 9 Central, 10 Eastern on my channel. And every Friday.
All right.
Yes.
Boomer.
Geeky Geezers on Sunday, I believe, after your unscripted show.
Mhm.
And that will be the subject of that will be various things, including what we're hopeful might be. I don't know if Troy's a big fan, but the return of Riddick.
Oh, yeah. I have
nice.
nothing against it. Yeah.
Yes. I like Chronicles of Riddick. I don't care.
Okay.
I like
Frankly,
it too.
And frankly, maybe this is a replacement for Star Wars at this point. I don't know.
I know.
That might be a thing
apparently
Friday.
this
What are the
Rebel
replacements?
Moon was a huge disappointment for most people. So
What was?
Rebel
That
Moon.
one. Yeah, the Snyder
Yeah.
one. I'd heard. I hadn't seen it, but yeah.
But what that tells me is, I don't care what it is. Maybe Zack Snyder is not your guy. You could have him direct something of yours, but don't leave him on his own to do his own thing. You know.
Yes.
But I did have to mention, Boomer, that regarding Geeky Geezers, we have always referred to it as unscripted as being the official lead-in to Geeky
Yes.
Geezers. But Big Al made a point. He's like, who's to say that Geeky Geezers isn't the unscripted after show? There's a thought there too.
It could also be the lead into the other side of midnight.
That's true. That is true. Geeky
Indeed.
Geezers is the lead into the other side of midnight.
Yes. But yeah, either way, it could be the after show as well. Like what is it? You sit down for Carson and then you get Letterman, that sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's a great analogy. Yes.
Back when we had nighttime hosts, I wanted to watch. Actually.
Right.
But yeah.
Exactly. I guess that's what it is. I think that's why I do what I do. I used to like Letterman and I used to like, Johnny Carson and whatnot.
Yes.
And I used to imagine, sitting down with those celebrities and
Exactly.
interviewing them and stuff like that. And I'm like, man, I could do that. Now in kind of a small way I am.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
All right.
And
Well,
what about
that,
you? Do you have an
leads it
unscripted topic?
on over to me. I don't have a topic as of yet, but the week is young. All
Golden
right.
Globes
so,
aftermath, maybe.
Perhaps. Certainly. Well, we kind of covered that on the midnight show,
I
but
got you. Yeah.
we that's something we could always discuss. All right. Well, tomorrow I am going to be appearing on Pacific 414's channel, and I'm going to be the guest for Pop Talk. That'll be at 6 p.m. Thursday at 3 p.m., or as soon as I can get off of work and get over to the show, joining Jedi Bill for Action Theater, and we are going to be watching Cliffhanger from 1993.
Yeah.
Sylvester Stallone, Die Hard on a Mountain. And then, of course, Friday Night Last Call, 10 p.m. All right, and then those are the special appearances that I'm going to be making this week, apart from my own shows, Unscripted and The Other Side of Midnight. All right, I do. I do want to shout out a few other channels while we are here. Sin's Corner has reviewed Marvel's Echo. Check out her review. I talked to her last night, and I'll go into that here in a minute. I know she definitely has some opinions about Echo. She couldn't voice them at the time, but now that the embargo is over, her review is out. So please go over to Sin's channel and check out her review. Big Al Presents has his 10-word review of Night Swim. So please check out that review. It's just 2 minutes. It won't take long. And I want, after the show is over, for everyone to go over to 32 Flavors of Nick Weiser for Toxic Tuesday and raid his channel. He is doing the Rambo films this month. And he is up to Rambo First Blood Part 2. So please go over and check out Nick Weiser's channel. As I said, I was on with Sin's Corner last night. We did a mystery movie night at the Regal, and we reviewed the movie Origin. And oh boy,
Okay.
we had a lot to say about it. And let's just say by the time I was done watching that movie, I want to hear absolutely nothing more out of Hollywood.
I know, right?
You are done. I do not want to hear your political BS anymore. I lost respect for some people after that movie, and
Because of this movie.
Because of this movie, yeah.
Okay, was the movie not good? Is that my question for you?
It is. The movie is communist propaganda, straight up.
Wow. Okay. All right. Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, they.
Let me put it this way. It was a movie made for Mark Ruffalo and Brie Larson.
Might be something
It's
to bring
that
up
kind
on
of movie.
Friday. I'm Troy's Friday stream.
We are.
Along with
We
that.
absolutely are.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. So see the review. It was on both. It's on both mine and Sin's channel. And on the 22nd, because we're going to review all of the mystery movie nights. The next one is going to be on the 22nd. So stay tuned for that. All right. I want to go ahead and thank everybody in the chat. Everyone who is lurking in the background, which is totally fine, just as long as you enjoy the show. Please leave a like and share out the stream. I want to say hello to everyone who is following along with us on Twitter. I know there were a few of you. Thank you all for being here. And to the chat, Lady Mist, Lady V, Connie Cleary, Dee Dee Myers, JPRPH1, Shrek PMC, Nate. Let me see. Who did I miss? Scrolling. Tim was here. And scrolling. Right. I'm sorry. Lester San Jose, the Skeptic Tank. Have a safe flight home. Big Al was here. All right. Any final words?
Mine, but I'll wait till everybody else.
The owls are not what they seem.
It's true, they're not.
They are not.
And as soon as we wrap here, get yourselves over to Toxic Tuesday.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And remember,
And tell them Deleted Scene sent you.
yes. Remember to subscribe to the panel and to the chat. If you think you're ready to sub to any of us, all of us, go back and double check because YouTube likes to take those subs away. And also make sure you have the notifications bell rung so you are advised whenever a new stream is starting or a new video has dropped. And with that, I always say, we can talk amongst ourselves and that's all well, good, and fun. But it's so much more fun when you guys are joining us in the chat and you're dropping your comments, questions, trivia, being goofy, whatever it may be. And it doesn't feel like we're separated by miles or continents in some cases. It feels like we're hanging out in the same room, enjoying each other's company and having a great time. And you guys, you're not just our friends. You're our family. We love you guys and we appreciate you so very much. You can be anywhere and you chose to be here. That's so encouraging. So thank you for being here and God bless.
All right. Head on over to 32 Flavors of Nick Reiser and tell him I sent you. That was live from Sparkwood and 21. Join us next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. From HQ and all points, north, south, east, and west. Good night, take care, stay strong, because this is how we win. Good night.